അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാൻ അശാന്തമാവുകയാണ്. US സേന പിന്മാറുന്നതോടെ താലിബാൻ വീണ്ടും അവരുടെ കരുത്ത് തെളിയിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ ഒരു അവസരത്തിൽ അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാനിലെ പൊതുസ്ഥിതിവിശേഷത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് നമ്മോട് സംസാരിക്കുവാനായി അഫ്ഗാനിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെയുള്ള മുൻ ജേർണലിസ്റ്റും ഇപ്പോൾ മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധി യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ PG ചെയ്യുന്ന മിസ്റ്റർ ഗുലാം ആണ് നമ്മളോടൊപ്പമുള്ളത്. നമുക്ക് അദ്ദേഹവുമായി സംസാരിക്കാം. വെൽക്കം മിസ്റ്റർ ഗുലാം.
Thank you. My name is Ghulam Farooq Rasuli. I am from Herat, Afghanistan. I'm doing MA Public Policy and Governance in MG University, and I was a journalist for 7 years in Afghanistan. I worked in several media, television, radio, and newspaper.
I think you are from Herat province, right?
Yes, I'm from Herat province in the western of Afghanistan.
So as per the current updates in Herat province, the fight is going brutally right there from Afghanistan forces and the Taliban. So how do you view these circumstances?
As you told, in last few months in Afghanistan, we are witnessing increase of war. And in this period of time, the situation has changed completely. As I was there 3 days ago, there was war, there was fear, there was misery, everything, because Taliban nowadays has more control and most area in Afghanistan, especially in Herat. All the districts are under the control of Taliban. Just Herat city is under control of the government, and also 2 districts which are near to the city, and war is around the city, and this war caused a lot of financial and human losses for the people. As you know, war is not something we should explain it. It's already everyone know when there is war what will be the consequences.
You were a journalist in Afghanistan, and how do you view the lives of the people before Taliban and after the insurgence of Taliban?
This is a difficult question, and also it will be very simple. If we say 2 months ago, there was Afghan government in all districts of Afghanistan, but nowadays more than 200 districts are under the control of Taliban, and recently one province, its name is Nimruz, it's the southwestern Afghanistan, it's fully under the control of Taliban. At all, situation is not normal. Everything is what should I say, everything is in a very bad situation. As I can mention, every day hundreds of people are killed, wounded, and also homeless due to the war in the cities. Thousands of people are becoming homeless. They have to leave their homes and go other places. The weather is too hot in these days because it's summer, and there is a lot of problem. That will be difficult to say about all of things. But as for your question, the situation is not normal, therefore people are living in a complex situation.
How was the media freedom in Afghanistan?
As you know, the freedom of speech is the biggest achievement of Afghan government in last 2 decades, as well the freedom of the medias and the increasing of the number of the medias in Afghanistan. This is the big achievement of the Afghan government, because nowadays everyone can speak aloud, can talk about the problems, everyone can be heard by the officials, by the one or they're ruling the country. The media is the sound of the society, and in last 2 decades media in Afghanistan improved a lot. After this war in last 2 months, I think about 20 media were not working in Helmand provinces, because there is war. Taliban have the control of the most of the province. They can't work. All the journalists and media workers are in danger. Some of them are went other place, but warmer there. They're living in fear and also worry because they don't know what Taliban should do with them. But at all in the media and freedom of speech in Afghanistan is in a good situation.
So, sir, how's the war going on there actually?
About war, I was there 3 days ago when I was planning to come here, India. There was war around the airport, around the cities. No one was able to go out of the home. I was my flight was have been delayed and cancelled for 1 week due to this war. But that day when I was coming here, uh, I witnessed a lot of people who were killed in the war, and they were around the road, and the Afghan forces tries to collect them, and some of them were injured. I went through this war, and when I arrived to the airport, everyone feel fear because they were worried about the flight because all around the airport there were Taliban, and every moment there was a chance for they attacking the airplane. Everywhere there is fear, there is anxiety, and also complexity because situation is very bad, and no one can predict what will be happen when you are going out of home. It's not clear you will come back safely. Therefore, there is fear.
So, actually, in Afghanistan, it is the woman who suffers the most. So, how do you view the general conditions of women out there in Afghanistan under the Taliban rule and all?
As you know, the big problem for women is that because they were working last 2 decades outside of the home, because before that, from 1996 to 2001, where Taliban were in Afghanistan, they were controlling the Afghanistan and they were governing the people. They didn't let the women to go out of the home because they say women is a private. They should work in the private space like homes. They don't have the right to go out to work, to study, to travel. Therefore, it's a big problem for women. It's not clear when Taliban take the control of Afghanistan what they will do about the women. Will they let the women to do works, went for the study and travel, or no? Nowadays, the situation is much different from 1996 because most of the women are educated. They worked out for 2 decades. That will be very difficult to stay at home and don't go out. But we will see what will happen.
So, throughout all these days, there are various pictures of migration emerging in the medias. So, along the border towns, lot of people are getting migrated each and every day. So, how do you view this migration status of Afghanistan?
As you told, in these days, war is increased, and can I say, daily thousands of families are leaving their homes and they become homeless, and they immigrate inside Afghanistan as well outside Afghanistan. This war caused a lot of problem for people. It caused financial and also human losing for them. They lost their property, they lost their homes, they lost their everything. And nowadays, about maybe 100,000 of families are immigrated from their places and went to other places. This is a big problem because in this hot weather in Afghanistan, which nowadays summer, and living without electricity in this coronavirus situation, it's too difficult. It's not expressible. It's not explainable. I'm speechless to talk about their problems, about their situation.
Actually, Taliban has been emerging as a major power in the past 2 months. So how has the education disrupted in all these areas and all?
Education, I will talk just about Herat because I was there 3 days ago. Before these 2 months, 1 million children and the girls and boys were going to the schools for studying, and also to the UN universities. But nowadays, no one were in the schools, no one were in the universities due to this war, and all of the children are in the homes because the families are worried about their security, and they didn't allow them to go to the schools. They didn't allow them even go out because of this war. In last few days, I think situation is becoming very harder and worse, and no one is interesting to go to the schools, and I can say situation is not good for the education, especially for women and girls.
How has the general life disrupted in Afghanistan?
As I mentioned before, situation is abnormal in Afghanistan because it's war, it's fear, it's a lot of problem, and most of the people are not willing to go out of their home. They're trying to be at home. Most of the people, they were working outside. Nowadays they're at home, and they're not interested to go outside for working because war is spread in through the cities. Everything is in an abnormal situation, and they feel fear, and they are very afraid of the future because this is civil war. This is not war against foreign. This is not war against other people. Both sides are from Afghanistan.
According to you, what can be the future of Afghanistan?
In an optimistic situation, maybe in next few months, Afghan governments and Taliban will may reach agreement for a ceasefire. If the war continued and situation will be like this, it will cause the irrecoverable catastrophe for the people of Afghanistan. Because a lot of people will die, they will lose their property, they will become homeless, and a lot of people will have to immigrate. Therefore, situation in Afghanistan right now, it's complex. We can't predict what will happen. As you know, some countries don't want to Afghan people have a peaceful life. They have a proxy to work in Afghanistan. They're doing proxy war in Afghanistan, and they don't want to see a peaceful Afghanistan.